All right, guys, so my name's Anna. Welcome back to our second live. And this one, we're part 2 on pads, our Illuminator Clear Complexion Pads. We're going to discuss what actually makes exfoliation work, right? So we're going to get into it. In part 1, for a flashback, we discussed what is exfoliation and do you actually need it? Exfoliation is the removal of dead skin cells on the top layer of your skin. And yes, you actually do need it because it unclogs your pores, and that means it's helping reveal the shiny new skin underneath, and it's making your skin less dull, less oily, less acne prone, all that terrible stuff. So that's why you need to exfoliate, to get rid of your dull, dead skin and to allow other products like your moisturizer and your SPF to penetrate deep in your cells, and they work better, right? Your skin looks brighter and it's happier, and you do have to take care of it with SPF, all right? That's why we need to exfoliate. That was part 1. Okay, tonight we are digging into why our exfoliation pads even work. Like, how do they work? What is the magic? What is the mystery behind our Illuminator Complexion Pads, okay? That's what we're discussing. So part of the magic is that they are both mechanical and chemical. So what this means is that you're literally physically using a pad, gentle circular motions on your face to remove the dead skin cells with friction, okay? And you have your chemicals too. So you have the mechanical, you're holding it, and you have your chemical, right? You have your alpha hydroxy chemical and you have your beta hydroxy chemicals. So alpha hydroxy, that's your glycolic, your lactic, and your malic acids. They take care of the top part of your skin. They help with breaking down dirt and exfoliating, and they dissolve the bond that is holding they dissolve the bond of the gunk that's holding the dead skin cells. I hope I'm making sense. They're dissolving the dead skin cells on your skin, okay? They're chemical, they're dissolving the stuff that's holding the dead skin cells together so you can gently wipe it away, right? So you're both wiping and dissolving. You're doing a 2-in-1. These are like a 10-in-1, but 2-in-1. It's mechanical and chemical, okay? So your beta hydroxy acids, they get to the bottom of things, right? That's like your salicylic acid. That's what we have. We have 2% salicylic in here. We have 2% salicylic acid, and that, of course, is known to fight acne. That breaks down the oil in your pores and removes it. And if it's unclogging oil, that means your pores are breathing. And acne, and it's also a microbiome, right? It's antimicrobiome, which it's fighting the nasty bacteria that causes acne on your skin. So you're not only getting the topical dead skin cells off, you're getting that barrier off your skin, you're also digging down deep with your salicylic acid, and you're removing the gross oil and the acne bacteria, and you're reducing the cause and risk of acne on your skin with these bad boys right here. All right, so with that said, we'll get into a deeper dive of what actually makes exfoliation work. It's all about what's inside, right? Oh, and we also learned how often to exfoliate, but I'll get into that at the end when I show you how to use these pads, okay? So let's see here. Okay, so we're gonna get into our chemical. We have the alpha hydroxy acids and we have our beta hydroxy acids, right? So our alpha hydroxy acids, like I said before, they're your topical. They're water soluble, they hydrate, they moisturize, they're antibacterial, antioxidant. They do a lot on the top of your skin. They also dissolve the bond of the dead skin cell, and let's see, how can I better put this? It's like a mop, okay? So they're wiping up the gunk on your face. You're gonna cleanse your face. You remove all of the sweat, the dirt, the tears, the oils, the makeup, right? You're gonna first use a cleanser, right? But then you're gonna go in and you're gonna use this. So the cleanser is like a broom, okay? You're sweeping off the top dirt. So this is like a broom. You need to sweep before you mop, right? So you're doing that, and then you're gonna go in with 2 mops. So your bigger mop is wiping kind of like the bigger stains, like your rough patches, your dry skin, and the dead skin cells. It's dissolving the dead skin cells. And that's the alpha. The alpha is the bigger mop, right? So then you're gonna go with your beta. You're gonna go with your smaller, micro-sized mop. You're gonna dig in there, dig out the oil of the cells, and that's where you're reducing your whiteheads, your blackheads, and your inflammation, your acne, right? So the bigger mop, the alpha, goes on second after cleansing, which is like a broom. So you're gonna cleanse, you're gonna sweep, using a metaphor, you're gonna sweep, and then you're going to mop with 2 mops. The bigger mop is the alpha hydroxy acids, which is your glycolic acid, your lactic acid, and your malic acid. That's a 3-in-1. That's packing a powerful punch. That's pretty great. So that's your bigger mop, right? You're dissolving the bonds you're removing the gunk the skin cells are clinging to, the dead skin cells are clinging to, and you're getting them off. Then you're going in with a smaller mop with your salicylic acid, which is your beta for bottom, right? So your beta hydroxy acid. And then you're digging in your pores because it's smaller, penetrates deeper. It's digging out the oil, right? So it's actually inhibiting and destroying the bacteria that causes acne. So bacteria is small, right? So that's why you need a smaller mop to fight the bacteria. It's strong, it's small but mighty. That's what we want to say. So these Illuminator Clear Complexion Pads are literally illuminating and clearing your complexion, right? So, but to begin with this, the first step, like I said in part 1, first step exfoliating is to cleanse. Why? Because you have to sweep off the top layer of dirt, and then you get to mop afterwards, right? Okay, so lactic acid is our first big mop, right? And we have 3% lactic acid. And yes, lactate is found in milk, dairy products, but the lactic acid is what we use to dissolve the bond of the gunk in the cells. And so lactic acid, it is, of course, so it leaves you with a smoother, brighter complexion. All the acids, after removing the gunk, the top layer of dead skin cells, it's gonna leave your young, fresh, new skin, which sounds odd. Your young, fresh, new skin cells underneath are brighter, younger, happier skin cells. So your skin, as a result of removing the top layer of gunk, dead skin cells, is exposing your brighter, younger skin's gonna look brighter and younger automatically because you're literally taking off a barrier of dead skin cells, right? So your lactic acid, it's leaving you smoother, brighter, because it's dissolving that dry, patchy skin. The dry, patchy skin is a part of the dead skin cell package, as a different way of saying it, right? So with your dead skin cell package, you get dry, patchy skin, you get duller skin, and you have wrinkles. So your skin's starting to look dual, starting to look a few more lines are showing up here, smile lines. Let's see. A little more acne, more breakouts, more whiteheads, more blackheads on your nose, your cheeks, everywhere, right? So that could be a telltale sign that you need to go ahead and exfoliate, right? Gently, not harshly. So you need to go ahead and gently exfoliate. And once you remove that dual, dry, flaky barrier of skin, literally dead skin, it's gonna reveal the new, softer, plumper skin underneath. And not only is it revealing it, but we're adding back in brightening, hydration, plumping with these. So they're doing a lot of jobs. This is working very hard for your skin so that it can be protected and stay bright, stay plump. And as part of that protection, since it's newer skin, yes, SPF is the last step you do. You're gonna have another step after you exfoliate, and I'll get to that in just a moment. So first step's cleansing, second step's exfoliating, and then I'll show you the next step in just a moment. So let's see. All right, lactic acid leaves your skin smoother and brighter, right? So lactic acid is a gentle alpha hydroxy acid. So alpha is the bigger mop, right? So lactic acid, one of the acids, it's very gentle. And it also supports collagen buildup, which means your skin is prone to making more collagen, which will leave you firmer and less lines, less wrinkles, right? And it's helping clear pores, regulates skin hydration. And let's see what else. And of course, it's helping in clearing, preventing acne. And hyperpigmentation. Lactic acid does a lot. So all of these acids are doing I think 8 things each. They're all clearing you. They're all brightening you. They're all removing dirt. They're all literally dissolving the dead skin cells. And they're leaving you brightened. And they're brightening and leaving you brightening. You're automatically going to be, if you remove dirt from a floor, you're going to see the floor. It's going to be shiny. So you're removing dirt from your skin and dead skin cells. It's going to be shiny. But they're also aiding and helping with reducing hyperpigmentation and putting back in hydration in your skin. So your skin's plumper and brighter. That's a lot of work going on with just a couple of times a week, putting a gentle exfoliation on your face. So that's pretty great. All right, so the next acid, we have our malic acid, right? We have another alpha hydration acid. And I forget, you guys ever heard of these? I'm sure you've heard of lactic acid, and I'm sure you've heard of salicylic acid. But did you know, because I didn't always know there were 2 types. Has anyone ever heard of alpha hydroxy acid and beta hydroxy acid? It's your AHA, your BHA. Drop in the comments if you did know. If you did know, put a science beaker, because that's amazing. And if you didn't know, just put I actually didn't know. A shrug emoji. Put a shrug emoji if you didn't know, and put a science beaker if you did know about all these acids, right? They're amazing. We all knew about salicylic, we all knew about lactic, but I didn't know they fell under a family of acids. It's pretty incredible. Okay, so malic acid, it helps with uneven skin texture, which hyperpigmentation, right? Lines, wrinkles, and it also is hydrating. So basically, and it's also, malic acid is also humectant, right? So hydrating, right? It's pulling in water from outside and keeping it in your skin, which is pretty great. All right, and okay, so our final acid, we also have, of course, your salicylic acid, right? I knew about salicylic acid because it's in, other products. When I was younger, broke out in acne, that's what I mainly used. Now, this one has 2% salicylic. So it's still getting in there, digging out the oil, fighting the acne for you. And yeah, and it's exfoliating, it's dissolving the dead skin cells, unclogging pores. So you're getting not a 1-2 punch, but a 3-4 punch with these pads. So they're doing a lot of work. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty incredible. A lot of bang for your buck, I would say. All right, so that's acids, right? So now we want to get into the Manuka plant extracts. It has a very sciencey name, but I'm just going to call it by its English name. So Manuka plant extract is, let's see here. That's right. So it's antibacterial, antifungal, and antimicrobial. And antimicrobial fights the small bacteria, and it stops them from growing. So you have Manuka acid. It's protection, right? It's like, hey, I see bacteria, I'm fighting you, I'm stopping you. It's like, I don't know a metaphor for this, but it's helping destroying your bacteria, and that's what we want. We don't want all that nasty bacteria on our face. So we have probiotics in here. It's the good bacteria fighting the bad bacteria. So we have a lot going on. We fighting bacteria and clearing out your pores. That's what's going on with these. All right, last thing we've got, well, we got a lot, but a couple more things. Niacinamide, it is a form of vitamin B3. It's water soluble, which means it's very small. It's gonna clear out your pores, and yeah, it's gonna soften your fine lines, refine your texture. So you have a lot of ingredients helping to do a lot of similar things, but they're all working with each other, and they're all like helping your skin stay smooth, hydrated, and clear out your pores. So this is very exciting. Okay, so a couple more ingredients that say why exfoliation actually works, what actually makes it works. We have glycerin. Put a G in the comments if you ever heard of glycerin. Okay, so if you've heard of glycerin, put a G in the comments. All right, so glycerin, of course, it moisturizes. It's a humectant, which means it draws water from outside sources, keeps it in your skin, and it strengthens the skin barrier, which I found very exciting. You're having something that strengthens your skin barrier. It's really cool. And it soothes and calms, minimizes signs of aging by reducing the wrinkles and encouraging collagen formation. It aids in healing and improves your skin's texture. So you want to have that patchy texture, and you know, your acne is going away, the buildup of patchy skin, it's breaking it down, it's dissolving it, and removing the dead skin cells as well. Within these clear complexion pads, we have 5 plant-based brightening ingredients. We also have aloe, which soothes and calms the skin as well, which is very exciting. And we have moisturizers. So you are unclogging pores, you're breaking down oil, which is also unclogging pores, you're fighting bacteria causing acne bacteria, and you're putting back in brightening, and you're putting back in moisturizing and hydrating. So you're doing a lot just by exfoliating. It's very, very exciting. With exfoliation, there's a couple of things that you can do wrong. You can either never exfoliate when you need to, which is when you start to get dual skin, you start to look aged, start to get lines, or you can over exfoliate, which will, of course, not work in your favor, kind of blow up in your face. It'll leave your skin red, irritated, micro tears, more prone to like acne and bacteria, and it's just bad. So with that said, you would only need to exfoliate 2 to 3 times a week. Okay, not every day, not once a month, but 2 to 3 times a week. That's it. Now, of course, if you have more sensitive skin, you would do it less often, right? You do it maybe once a week, twice a week. But for a little bit less sensitive, it's 2 to 3 times a week. So every couple of days. So I did it on Tuesday. I exfoliated. Now today I'll show you how to exfoliate again because it's Thursday. Woohoo! Friday Eve. All right. So, and then of course we need to know the first step to exfoliation is what? It's cleansing. So how many people knew before you exfoliate, you need to actually cleanse your face? Drop the word cleanse in the comment if you knew that was the first step. You don't just jump in and exfoliate. You got to actually clean the top gunk, the top dirt, debris, oil, makeup, pollutants, free radicals that are in the air. Clean all that off your face, kind of like sweeping the floor. You're sweeping the dirt first, and then you're going in and you're mopping, right? Of course, and this has 2 mops, right? The bigger hydroxy acid and then the smaller beta hydroxy acid. So alpha hydroxy acid and beta hydroxy acid. So you cleanse first. Hey everyone, thanks for joining. And then you're gonna mop, which is exfoliating, okay? So then after you exfoliate, you actually go back in and protect your skin, so you're exposing your skin's barrier, right? You're still protecting it with the moisturizer and the hydrator, but you still have young baby skin there, so you're restoring the pH balance with the toner, and you're protecting the skin as well with the toner, the pH Phyto toner from Abraza Skincare. So those are the 3 steps to exfoliate. It's not just a one-step process. You're gonna cleanse, you're gonna exfoliate, and then you're gonna tone. The reason for cleansing, you're getting the top dirt off, and then you're exfoliating, you're going deep inside with both acids. So friction and acids, you're dissolving the bonds of the dead skin cells, and you're removing them, right? You're gently removing them, and you're putting back in moisture and brighteners and protection, right? And bacteria fighting ingredients in here. Calming, soothing, bacteria fighting. All in here. And then after you do all that, your skin still kind of needs to close the gap. You need to restore the pH balance of your skin. So you gotta use toner. You gotta close it. Like a sandwich, like I said earlier. You're making a sandwich, PB&J, you don't just leave it open. At least I don't. You gotta close it. You gotta finish the job, right? So you're gonna go back in there and you're gonna tone. And then you're gonna do your serums, and then you're finally gonna end with your SPF. Why do you need SPF after you exfoliate and you tone and you've cleansed? Because you have new baby skin and it's very sensitive to sunlight, ultra rays, all of that. You really need to make sure you put on your SPF. You gotta protect your new skin, your new bright, happy, clean skin. Protect it, please, with SPF, okay? So now I'm gonna show you guys, I've already cleansed, right? So my face is fully cleansed, ready to go. Now we're gonna show you how to exfoliate with the Abraza Skincare Illuminator Clear Complexion Pads, okay? So it does come in a box, right? And then here it is. There's 55 pads and you're only using it a couple of times a week. So it'll last several months, okay? All right, so let's take one out. We're gonna open it and let's see. And we also comes with tongs, so you can easily grab a pad, right? So it comes with these. And let's see here. So I'm getting one out as gently as possible. It's not that came off easy, all right? All right, so let's check out. We have the grooves. We have the, it's rough, but it's gentle, right? So, oh, and then there is no scent. It's like the clinical, like, there's acids in here, right? So it's not, there's not fragrance. It's just that clinical smell, you're putting like a good amount of science, packing a punch for your face, right? Some science on your face. So now I'm gonna grab it with my clean hands, right? So you gotta use clean hands to clean your face, okay? And I've already cleansed, so now you just take it and you gently, circular motions, and we're gonna clean, right? So let's see, gently, okay. Back over here, and then, all right, so how many of you guys actually exfoliate ever, at all? Because I used to not exfoliate. I didn't really understand it. I knew about body exfoliation. I didn't really know about your face. I knew about the face mask, things like that, right? But I didn't know what exfoliation even did. I didn't really get it. I knew it like sloughed off. I knew it sloughed off skin, like dirt and skin cells, but I didn't understand the importance, right? I didn't realize dead skin cells are everywhere and they keep coming back, which is why you exfoliate a couple times a week to reveal your clean, new, youthful skin. And you exfoliate when you get, your skin gets older. So the cell turnover rate is slower. Right? So when you're younger, you're a teenager, or a kid, for most kids and tweens and some teens, their skin is young and it bounces back, it's shiny, it's thick, supple, really great skin. They don't really need much. They just need some soap and face lotion, that's it. But the older you get, the slower your skin starts turning over. So let me know in the comments how many of you actually do currently exfoliate. I'm very curious to find out. All right, so I'm almost done. Let's see here. Just make sure I get everything. I hope I didn't skip a spot, but now never do your eyes, because why? There's acids on this, and it's an exfoliator tool. It's too rough for your eyes, and there's literally acids, right? There's alpha hydroxy acid and there are beta hydroxy acids breaking down and removing dead skin for your eyes. I think that's just a whole other answer for another live. So don't put it on your mouth and don't put it on your eyes, okay? Also, don't use this if you're pregnant. The active ingredients in here can possibly affect your unborn child. So please do not use these if you are pregnant. Read what's in here. All right, so I'm almost done. And yeah, don't use it if you're pregnant. Please, please, please do not do that. Okay, so I did cleanse, but there are dead skin cells, right? So you can see it. Put the word brown. If you can see my brown, my dead skin cells, just type it in the comments. Kind of gross, I know, but it's there. So it's not dirt. A lot of people think it's dirt. It's not. You've cleansed the dirt off your face. Now you're digging in your pores and removing all the gunk and the dead skin cells. Gross, right? But it works. It's there. It's like you think you're clean until you exfoliate, right? Yikes. So yeah, all right. We won't have to see that. So now what happens, you don't go about your day. You still have 2 more steps, right? Well, 3 actually. You're gonna let this sit for 2 minutes and let it work its magic, fight the bacteria, do its thing, brighten, moisturize, all that good stuff, right? But yeah, so sit for 2 minutes. While I'm letting this activate, tell me more. Have you ever heard of exfoliating, which I'm pretty sure you have. And do you actually exfoliate? Do you exfoliate your body like a couple of times a month, once a week? Do you go to the spa? Do you exfoliate your face? What do you all do to exfoliate? Now my skin, I'm feeling it, a little bit of a tingle, it's working. I have some acne right here. So that, I can feel the tingle where the acne is, right? It's fighting that bacteria, it's killing it or destroying it for me. And it's stopping it from growing. Very exciting time. So it's like I have an army of workers on my face, handling things, taking care of things. So this is very exciting. Ooh, okay, I have 1 more minute for it to do its work its magic. So these pads work overtime. They have like 20 in 1. They're doing a lot. They're hydrating, they're fighting bacteria. They're literally unclogging your pores. And I'm feeling it here. This is where I usually break out. So here I'm not feeling much. And here I'm feeling very little. But here and on my neck, I'm not really feeling much either. And it's all here. I'm feeling the tingle. Okay. So it's not burning. It's just tingling, which means it's working. So yeah, very exciting. So I have like a combination skin, a little bit oily, a little bit dry. Sometimes it's typically oily on my forehead, typically dry around my nose and cheeks. So drop a note in the comments if you knew from the other live, lactic acid was used by the Egyptians. So yeah, I brought it up in the other live. I just thought it was really interesting and amazing that they even knew to do that, right? Egyptians, lactic acid. Cleopatra, look it up. Trust me. So also, and also, are there any questions? Any questions about exfoliating? I've just finished. It's been 2 minutes. So now I already cleansed before the live, right? I swept the floor, got the top dirt off. Now I just exfoliated. I just used my big mop to clear all the gunk dissolve the bonds of the dead skin cells to the skin, which is really gross, but I'm glad it's working. And then the smaller mop, which is the beta hydroxy acid, got in there and removed the oil, and it's breaking up the bacteria that's causing acne and all the things that we do not want on our skin. So I cleansed, I exfoliated, and now I'm going to tone. Why? To restore the pH balance, because I just did all this sciencey stuff to my face. My pH is thrown off. We don't want to leave it thrown off. We want to close the sandwich, as I say. We want to restore our pH. We want to add back in more protection and moisture barrier with our hydrating phytotoner, which is our plant-based toner with Abraza skincare. So I'm going to do that now. Very, very important step. Please do not miss it. So exfoliation is really like a 4-step process, but nothing major. You got to cleanse and then exfoliate, leave it on for 2 minutes, right? Gently exfoliate, not harshly, gently, okay? And then you tone to close the gap. But after you tone, you do your serums, and you gotta do your SPF is your final step. Why? Because you're protecting that new baby skin. It's vulnerable to the sun. You don't want it to get more sunburn, more damage. and it's new, right? It's fresh, it's young, it needs help, it needs protection. So you're protecting it with the ingredients in here, but you're protecting it with your toner, but you also need to actually let SPF do its job and protect from the sun. So here we go. I can use my fingers, but I typically use a pad just because it's my preference. Let's see. So you just need three sprays. Okay, so now I'm gonna just gently put it in there because I just exposed my new skin, so I'm just being gentle. All right, how many of you knew to tone after you exfoliate? Like, who even knew that, right? Like, I actually didn't know. I used to not know that. Like, I just thought you exfoliate, you're done, you're out the door. Woohoo! I didn't even realize you needed SPF. So who knew you needed to tone and put on SPF? And when you think about it, it makes sense. You're exposing your fresh, new skin underneath the dead barrier of skin, right? So, yikes. And I do remember I got a lot of compliments yesterday, because on Tuesday I exfoliated and everything, and then yesterday's Wednesday I got compliments. So that was nice. They're like, you look so fresh, you look so bright. I'm like, well, thank you. So how many people knew you needed to tone after you exfoliated? Drop the word tone in the comments if you knew, right? So good times. All right, I'm almost done putting in. All right, we're almost done toning, rebalancing our pH, restoring our pH, balance. All right, all these can be found in our TikTok shop for Abraza skincare. And these are the Illuminator Clear Complexion Pads, right? Free shipping. Okay, so I just toned, and if I were to go outside right now, I'd put on, my serums, my SPF. Well, really, my SPF, right? So that's kind of it. That's the whole process. It is pretty quick. I talked, so I made it a little bit longer. But really, your cleansing that takes a couple minutes, right? And then you pat your face dry. And then when it's the day to exfoliate, because you're not exfoliating every day. That's over-exfoliation. You're exfoliating every couple of days, 2 to 3 times a week, depending on your skin sensitivity, right? So then you're exfoliating, and then you're letting that set for about 2 minutes. You can brush your teeth, all that, sing a song, learn a new dance, what have you. And after you do that, then you're coming back in, closing the sandwich, as they say, with the toner. You're restoring the pH balance. You're finishing the job, right? Then after that, you have your option of serums, your vitamin C, ferulic acid, your vitamin E, right? Fancy, all right? You got to use your SPF. You got to use your SPF to protect your new baby skin from the harsh sun, all right? So protect that baby skin from the harsh sun. If you guys have any questions, please drop them down. So if you have any questions, like, where can I buy this product? Great question. From our TikTok shop, Abraza Skincare, these are the Illuminator Clear Complexion Pads. Literally, they illuminate and provide a clear complexion. Oh, and here, these, some results, right? We want to see results. So I say it's brighter. I definitely still feel a little bit of a tingle right here. They're definitely working. Yeah, I already look young, but wow, I might look younger. So it's definitely sloughing off the dead skin, which is very exciting and important to do. So I won't look dual. I won't look like I'm disappearing into the background. I will show up into the foreground, be main character. Okay. All right. Well, I'm done. I'm going to end it on this note, and really, really happy, excited you guys joined. So check out Abraza Skincare TikTok shop, Illuminator Clear Complexion Pads. And yes, check out the cleanser, because you do need to cleanse and exfoliate. Cleanse before you exfoliate, and close the job with phytotoner, hydrating phytotoner. But close the job with toner, okay? So thank you all so much for coming. I hope you have a beautiful night. And now we know how exfoliation actually works. All right, I'll see you guys later.